I'm going to show you how to make my fun fin scarf. It's made in Cairn Cakes and the color was Turkish Delight that I used. And I used a 5/8 inch gauge CinDWood Loom. This is it right here. And I used 28 pegs, which is, I marked 28 peg right there. And then I marked 24 peg because this is where we're going to be doing our increasing and decreasing to get the fins. And so I'm going to show you the stitch, and I think it'll look the best on white. You'll be able to pick up the stitch. This is what the owl eye stitch looks like. And here's all our fins. They look pretty nice. I haven't blocked anything, you know. And here's what the edge looks like. There. It's a nice tight edge. And it's nice. And here, see how it looks on the white. You might be able to pick it up. That's what the edge looks like. So it's a fun fin scarf, and it's a nice length. It just kind of wraps around you, and you just, you know, put it all around you, and you have all the fins coming down, and it looks really, really nice. Or you could just wear it over your shoulders if you like. And you can either make a shawl or a scarf with this. You can have it as wide as you want or as thin as you want, but if you make it thin, like a thin scarf, use use a marker of 3 on your loom instead of 4, because it'll look better with the scarf. Okay, so I'm just going to cast on now, and we just do a slip knot. We place it over the first peg. And I like to secure it when I'm a CinDWood loom so I can get it nice and tight quite easily. So what we do is we take our hook and we go under this loop, and then we just pull through, like doing a purl. We pull through the yarn piece here, and we just flip it and put it on the next peg. We can just do a little quick tug to tighten it up. We don't want it to be too loose. We do the same thing here. We just flip it. So we're just picking up the stitch and then just flipping it to go over the peg and tightening it. And we just do that all the way to peg 24. So I'll meet you up at peg 24. Okay, here we are at the last peg. So right there, so we just go under, over, do our flip. There we go. And then I just do a knit like that over there to hold that, because we're going to go back now and we're going to do a U-wrap all the way around to peg 1. And U-wraps just like this. Like this. All the way back to peg 1. And then I'll meet you there. Okay, we're back at peg 1, and this is where we're going to do our owl eye stitch through the rest of this scarf. So we do the owl eye stitch. We're going to go over peg 1 and 2 like that. Then we're going to go behind the peg and over 2 and then knit them off. The working yarns here, we just go in front and over these 2 and knit them off. Now another way to think about this is your working yarn's always at peg 1. So here's the peg it's at, peg 1. So you go in front of peg 1 and over peg 2, knit them off. And now you're at peg 1 again. So over peg 1, over peg 2, knit them off. And you're at peg 1 again, and you just do that all the way through this. So I'm going to meet you down at the end. Okay, so I'm down here near the end, so I'm just going to finish off these stitches here. So doing the owl eye here, and then over the last peg here, and then we start doing our increase already. So we're going to increase one peg. So to increase one peg, you go behind and go over like you're doing the owl eye, knit it over, and then just go back behind and around and knit it over. And there you are, the stitch is on. Then you're going to come back and do a flat wrap, right, over the two, and then back, doing owl eye all the way back. And I'll meet you back near peg 1 and show you how to do the end. Okay, so here we are near peg 1, so I'm on peg 3. Do the owl eye. I just do the owl eye over peg 2 and 1 here. And then I come behind and I do the owl eye stitch back like this. And this is the way we want to do our ends, because I found if you try to slip the end, it's too thin to go with these double stitches, because every peg is stitched with 2 stitches and then 2 stitches all the way back. It's total 4 stitches. So that is way too thin an end. This way, by going back and wrapping back over, we end up with 2 stitches on here, and it balances it better so that it won't curl and you'll have a nicer, tighter edge. So that's why I use this edge. So then you just do the owl eye stitch all the way back, and then you'll increase the same way we increased the last time, and you'll increase one more peg. Then you'll come back, do the corner the way I showed you, and come all the way back and increase another peg until you've increased all the way to this stitch marker. Okay, peg 28. So I'll meet you there and show you how to do the decrease. Okay, so here I am, and I've done all my increases, and I'm starting to head back. And after I've headed back about 3 pegs, what I do is start to do the decrease. Well, you actually come all the way back here, and then you come back and do the decrease. But I want to mark that right away so I don't forget. And also, if I have to put the loom down, that will tell me I'm decreasing, and this has to come and be knit over. So I always do it right there. So then back, here we are at peg 1. We come around the front and knit over. Whoopsie. No, we don't do that. So I'll put these back on. I got confused there for a minute. So we're back here. We went around there and around like that. Okay. So owl eye goes around from the back of peg 1 over the 2. Yeah, that was right. Okay. And then behind and over. Yeah, just got a little bit confused there. I think it's getting close to dinner time for me. And then we just go all the way back. So you just go all the way back and do the end the way I told you to, and come back here, and then I'll show you how to do the decrease. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to start doing our decrease. So I've worked all the way back up to peg 1, and I come back down here again, and so I'm going to wrap these 2, and then you just knit these over like that. Tighten them up a tiny bit, then make sure the stitch is just the same tension as the other ends you've been doing. And you come back, and then I like to usually do it at peg 3, and then you move the peg over and put it on the peg tag. There we go. And then I leave it there so it's ready to do the decrease when I come back. And then I go back to peg 1, come down, and keep decreasing until I've decreased right to there. Come down and knit off the 2 loops on there. And then immediately I go back down and you start increasing again. So you'll be doing your increase and going up 1. So that's all you do. You keep increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. And so now you know how to do it. Important thing to remember is keep your stitches loose. You can see how it's starting to look here. Here's your first fin. It's got a kind of a lacy look. So that's the beginning of the fin, and after you do all the decreases, you can see the point is here, and it's starting to decrease now, and it will come down into the fin. And you see it's hanging nice. It's a nice stitch. You don't need any purls. There's your cast on, looking really nice. And here's your edge, doing it the way that I showed you, looking nice and tight and good. So you need to learn how to cast off now. So what I'm going to do is you just keep going to get long enough. Now I'm short, so I do mine about 60 inches long. If you're taller, you might want to go 70. If you're really tall, maybe 75 inches long. And then you bind off, and it'll be a long time before I get there on this scarf. So I've got another little piece I'm going to do to show you how the bind off is.